From the NDP's stance on the oil sands to Americans backing Keystone. Joining me now with his take is the host of The Source, Ezra Levant. Thanks for joining us, Ezra.
Oh, it's great to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you back from the north and from Calgary. But I want to get your take on Thomas Mulcair starting this new website to attack Northern Gateway. What do you think of the leader of Canada's opposition party taking such a divisive stance?
I'd say two things. First of all, right now the Northern Gateway project is before a regulatory review panel. So these are non-partisan, neutral people, supposedly, looking over the pros and cons. So for Thomas Mulcair to weigh in before they're done their job would sort of be like him saying, oh, there's a trial going on, but I don't want to wait till the trial's over before saying I think that the accused is guilty or innocent. So I think he's jumping ahead of things improperly. For a man who wants to be the Prime Minister, I think he's being a little irresponsible. He's basically saying, I don't care about the official reviews, my politics comes first. But there's something bigger. There's something bigger. And that's this. The NDP used to stand for guys with hard hats, guys with shovels, guys working outdoors.
Yeah, all about unions, right?
Well, yeah. And who are the biggest union employers in Canada today? It's not the Canadian auto workers. The big three automakers have had hard going the last 10 years. If you want to make 150 grand a year, either unionized or non-unionized, well, the oil patch is pretty much the place to be. And to take that on for the NDP is so upside down, Sneha. I mean, it's like the party is now people who hang out in Starbucks texting each other, not guys actually doing real work. Yeah. I find it a strange thing to do.
It's a very odd turn of events. And also, this website actually accuses the government of the Conservatives of playing wedge politics. But is Mulcair not doing the exact same thing by launching the site?
Big time. I mean, it was just a few weeks ago where he said, oh, the oil sands, they use their role model at Nigeria. Nigeria? A place where there's extreme poverty, practically zero environmental, not a strong democracy, not strong on human rights. Thomas Mulcair actually compared the oil sands to Nigeria. That's very wedge politics. I acknowledge that Stephen Harper has made a big political investment in the oil sands for sure, but Thomas Mulcair called the oil patch Dutch disease. A disease? If that's a disease, give me a double dose. I mean, that's what's driving the economy. And that's the thing. If you're a welder or a truck driver or a rig worker, wearing a hard hat, working hard, are you seriously going to vote for the NDP? The NDP would shut down your job, or at least throw so many taxes and red tape on it that it would grind to a standstill.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you look at the stats, the jobs are out west. That's where the growth is, and yet this is a man who wants to be Prime Minister, yet he's turning his cheek on one of the fastest growing industries in this country.
You know what, and Vancouver, he's trying to play, I think I see what he's doing politically. He's trying to wedge against Harper. He's trying to say, well, Vancouver is green. Well, Vancouver depends on oil and gas also. Vancouver Airport, very major airport, of course, the trains coming in and out the port. It's an energy intensive city. I think that this is cheap and shallow, and I don't think it befits a man who's the leader of the opposition and should be thinking of himself as the Prime Minister in waiting. He's a left-winger, that's fine, but I don't think he's being a responsible left-winger. There is such a thing, Sneha. He ain't it.
No, but I want to talk about what's happening stateside, because we talked about U.S. manufacturing jobs. They've shrunk for the first time in 3 years. Now we see this poll. Americans want Keystone. They say we want the jobs. So it's a very interesting turn what we're seeing south of the border now when there was opposition previously.
I can give you 3 reasons that they want that Keystone pipeline in the States. Number one, as you mentioned, shovel-ready jobs. Doesn't need a government stimulus. Build the pipe now. Those are union jobs, by the way.
It's the unions who want that pipeline.
Number two, both Democrats and Republicans in some of those Keystone XL states, like Nebraska, say, yes, we found a way to do this in a safe, environmentally friendly way. And finally, what would this oil do? Well, it would displace 800,000 barrels of conflict oil being imported from Venezuela. So if you're an American, you're thinking, well, we're going to buy this oil anyways. We have a choice to make. Do we buy it from an enemy, really, Hugo Chavez, a bully, an authoritarian ruler, or do we buy it from our best friends and neighbors and allies, Canada? Look, it's such a simple choice. More jobs, stable, secure supply from a friend instead of an enemy. I'm surprised it's only 60% of Americans who want it.
Well, we'll see what comes after this November election if we see the project finally get that green light. Thank you so much, Ezra.
Thank you.
And that is, of course, Ezra Levant, the host of The Source. You can catch Ezra and all of our primetime shows here on Sun News Network, your home for hard news and straight talk.